This is the images the world was never meant to see. The smile, gone. The energy, extinguished. Here sits Kelly Ripa in the dim corridor outside an ICU room, facing a reality too heavy to name. She believes she's about to say goodbye to the love of her life, Mark Consoleros. To us, they've always been television's golden pair, two halves of a love story that seemed to belong to another world. For nearly 3 decades, their bond has felt like a compass pointing toward what lasting love could look like. But what if that unbreakable bond was born not from glamour, but from grief? What if the love that inspired millions was once tested by fear so deep it nearly broke them apart? This isn't a story about a breakup. It's a story about a breakdown and the rebirth that followed. A health crisis that arrived like a thief in the night, and a single silent vow that would change everything. A promise that not only saved a life, but reinvented a marriage. For over 25 years, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consoleros have been the couple the world rooted for, building an empire on laughter, partnership, and unshakable devotion. We see the witty banter on morning TV, the red carpets, the family posts that beam with pride. To us, it looked effortless. Marriage, parenthood, success, all seamlessly woven together. But every enduring love carries invisible roots, and the deepest roots grow through storms we never see. For Kelly and Mark, that storm began not with scandal or career collapse, but with a phone call. An ordinary Tuesday, a sudden pain Mark dismissed as stress, a tightening in his chest, a shortness of breath, so easy to wave off as fatigue, until it wasn't. Moments later came the words that freeze time: blockage, critical, ICU. And in an instant, the noise of the outside world, the shows, the schedules, the lights, fell away. All that remained was the steady beep of a heart monitor and the woman holding his hand, watching the numbers on a screen dictate her future. In that sterile room, Kelly faced a truth none of us are ready for: the possibility of life without her partner. But in that stillness, amid the hum of machines and the weight of fear, something shifted. A clarity, a vow, a promise whispered in the quiet hours of night. If you fight to stay, we will never live the same way again. She promised that if he returned, they would rebuild from the inside out. No more someday, no more waiting for joy to fit between obligations. They would become each other's priority again, fully, fiercely, deliberately. He fought. Slowly, steadily, he came back. Recovery was humbling. The man known for strength and confidence had to learn how to be vulnerable, to lean, to trust, to let go. And in that surrender, something new took root. Their connection deepened beyond the language of romance into something elemental, a quiet, unshakable interdependence. When he finally regained his strength, Kelly reminded him of the promise she'd made in the ICU, and to her surprise, he didn't resist. He embraced it. Together, they began to rewrite their lives, saying no to things that pulled them apart, and yes to the things that brought them home. They started choosing presence over prestige, peace over pressure, moments over milestones. And then another shift, one that every parent faces. Their children grew up
and left to build their own extraordinary lives. For many couples, that silence can echo, but Kelly and Mark didn't let it hollow them out. They let it draw them closer. They traveled. They worked together on passion projects. They dated each other again. The ICU vow had become their compass. And then, in a decision that stunned even their closest friends, they bought a home in Italy. Not a vacation house, a home. A return to the place where their story first began, the land of their secret honeymoon. It wasn't a retreat, it was a renaissance. They were no longer building a brand, they were building a life. Italy became the symbol of their second chapter, a life crafted around joy, simplicity, and time. It was Kelly's final farewell, not to Mark, but to the fear she once carried in that hospital chair. A farewell to living for the world instead of living for each other. So when you next see Kelly and Mark, glowing, laughing, lighter than before, know that the radiance you see isn't the spotlight, it's survival. It's a love reborn through clarity, through chaos, through choice. Because real fairy tales aren't written in ease. They're forged in the moments when everything could end, and you choose, against all odds, to begin again.